welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neil, and I'm joined by LeQuan Bennett, actor, stuntman, voiceover performer. It's good to have you here.
Good to be here. Love
Yeah.
the intro, man. It's nice seeing all these really cool horror icons, right? And then I get to go next. What?
Yeah. Maybe I know you're not in a horror movie necessarily, but maybe
Well,
in the future.
I will say, if you are a neo-Nazi, this is
Mm,
definitely a horror movie.
yeah. Well, I would say that's good, but hopefully we don't have a big neo-Nazi audience out there
Well, I
watching
mean, if
the
they're horror
show.
fans, then they should be cool.
Yeah, that's the message of today. I don't know if that's a good message, but uh, Freaky Tales came out last week, and for people not aware yet, could you give them an idea of what's about?
All right. Freaky Tales is a fun little anthology piece. It is four strange tales set in 1987 Oakland, this very interesting intersection of time and location. And these are, for the majority, tales that are based in real events, right? And real people. And I mean, they may be slightly embellished for dramatic purposes, but it's a whole lot of fun. They slightly intertwine with each other, and it's just a rad film.
It's interesting because I was saying it's not necessarily a horror movie and stuff, but I know a lot of my friends from horror movie festivals were really talking a lot about the movie.
It's this scrappy, at times grindhouse piece, and it's honestly, if you're a horror fan, you're probably going to be into what we've got to show you here.
So, how did you get involved in it?
Interesting story. So, I'm friends with the stunt coordinator,
Hmm.
and this was back in 2022, right around August. He gives me a call. Yo, LQ, what you doing for the next couple months? I don't know, Ron. What am I doing for the next couple months? Right? And he says, I've got this script that they sent me. I'm thinking about doing the action for this. I don't really do that anymore. I usually direct and act, but they've got some really cool things going on here. It's right up my alley. They got punk rock, they got rap, they got violence against a bunch of Nazis, and so I'm like, yeah, I will gladly direct that violence. And he's like, you should come up with me as a stunt PA, right? And perhaps we can, on some stunt days or something, get you some lines thrown or something like that. And so I was like, cool, I'll go up, and might be a good opportunity, right? So I get there and I look at the script. I don't really see anything along the lines of what he was talking about, but I did see a supporting lead in the first of the four Freaky Tales that I knew I would kill. So I'm like, Ron, check with the directors and see if they've casted this role yet.
Yeah.
And so he does, gets back to me. They're looking for a name. I'm like, drats. However, a couple days later, he comes back. They couldn't get the name, and they want you to audition. So I immediately get my hair bleached and dyed blue because I was thinking about how I would express this character. And I was a big fan of Mr. T. Love Grace Jones, and I love
He
kind of
was
like the
cool.
stuff that
Yeah.
they did with it. Yeah. And I shot my self tape after I got my hair done. A couple days later, I get a text. You got the part.
Awesome.
That is how I got involved with this film.
Yeah. So that's why. And what was it about that character that you're like, this is it speaks to me, or this is something I would like to do?
So this character was actually a real person, right? He's
Hmm.
one of these real people, and his name is George Stevens. He had a band called The Hated that he performed in punk rock. He was a former military like me. He glasses, and he was one of the first ones into the fray when things went down that crazy night. But yeah, he is kind of a willing to throw himself into harm's way to protect his friends, right? And
Hmm.
that speaks to me. Um, Stands in integrity, is willing to stand up for the principles that he believes in, and all that. Yeah, it's those kind of elements of just kind of generative masculinity and leadership that I was drawn to.
Yeah, I was reading about the real guy before we went live because I didn't know that before I was preparing for the interview, And so, did you get to meet him at all?
I have not met him yet. I have not met him yet. I did get to speak with a bunch of his friends
Mm-hmm.
around him. So my portrayal was a combination of what his friends thought about him, right? What the writers had in the script, and what I brought myself.
Yeah. So hopefully he liked it. And he didn't
Hopefully,
hate it like his band name, right?
his friends were happy.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's good. Yeah. How about so were you alive in 1987, or were you maybe very young, I suppose?
You're going to make me officially date myself. Yes, I was alive in 1987, and I was aware.
All right, so you knew what was going on.
Yeah. Now I didn't know about what was going on specifically in
Right.
Oakland,
Mhm.
but I was in school.
Okay, all right. So yeah, that's a big range, but at least, yeah, you weren't like 3 or unless you were like Doogie Howser or something, and you were like a 2-year-old, in college. But so but for the actual role though, did you watch like anything specific, like to kind of
Yes,
get
I
into
did.
it? Yeah.
Yes, I did. So this whole segment is based off of a documentary, right? Uh, it was Turn It something. Anyways, Corbett Redford, one of the Gilman alumni. Gilman is the club that all these punk rockers would go to. He did a documentary on the Gilman, and it detailed our whole story section, in great length, showing pictures of the real people and interviews from the real people, including George, that participated in this whole thing. So we watched that beforehand, but also, I mean, I'm a cinephile, right? And I've got a whole library of films in the back of my mind. So I just had to draw from that, you know,
Yeah.
Warriors, right?
Warriors come out to play. I need some bottles here.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Oh, by the way, though, so you're cinephile, and even though it's a horror show, I love I love all
Oh,
different.
we can talk more.
Yeah, but I was just wondering what kind of stuff like early on, like not just that you like, but like this is something I would like to do. This is I would like to do what these people are doing.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I always liked it. In elementary school and middle school, I would do plays and stuff like that. But I lived in Florida, and we didn't have much in the way of infrastructure uh, for that career path, right? So
Mhm.
I'm like, well, let me do the practical thing, right? What we're supposed to be doing, and find something that find a real job, right? So uh, I started off doing video production, right? Studying that, even though I did take acting for non-majors twice while I was in college, and I did actually attempt to go into the school, the drama school, but I guess I was too far along, and they wouldn't accept me. And I was like, fine, fine, fine. But eventually, after years and years of going through the standard kind of job routine, and living in a number of different places, New York, Alaska, Silicon Valley, I found myself at Apple Corporate doing quality assurance engineering, and I was just day in and day out in the office, right, week after week. I lived during the weekends and worked during the week, and I'm like, I can't really spend the next 20 years, right, doing this. I've got more inside me that I got more to do, you know?
Mhm.
And I connected eventually with some people in LA and started helping them out with one of their projects during the weekends. I would actually go down to LA for the weekend, help them out with the project, go back up to Silicon Valley and continue work at Apple. And I just liked the weekend work so much better. I was like, I'm gonna have to change careers. I gotta get into the film industry.
Yeah.
It's where my heart has been. Like anybody who knows me knows that I love talking movies and TV, and bringing people to the theater, and just that whole thing. Recommendations, like, y'all need to get on. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the fun of doing the podcast. You see a lot of weird indie movies, and then sometimes they get like Terrifier, for example. We had the people on the show before it blew up, and that then it became this giant movie. I deserve some credit for that, I think. But no, it's fun to put to put the work, like, oh wow, this is exciting. Let's talk to people about it.
And it's crazy because Freaky Tales really is a love letter to that kind of cinema,
Mm-hmm.
right? Cinephiles, but particularly this special period in the 80s. The 80s was a fantastic time for just good, gritty cinema, you know?
Yeah, I said that actually on the show because I think some people, when they think of '80s nostalgia, they think of the big hair and like the neon colors, and that is part of it. But I think of like a lot of like the gritty New York movies, uh, or Vice Squad, which is L.A. movie, but there's that grittiness level,
Yeah,
like you're saying.
yeah, man. Like, I mean, Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2. You got like stuff like Scanners and uh, uh, Aliens, Predator. You got some really good creative and the practical effects too, right? They
Yeah,
hit differently. They hit so much differently. They were so much. They were fun, right?
yeah, because even like bad practical effects have a charm to it, where I
Exactly.
think like bad CG just looks bad. Like
You right,
you know.
right, right. But yeah, very, very
And there's a
big.
weight to it. It's there, and there's something like it can either be fun or it could be scary
Right,
or
right,
both.
right. Have you ever seen the story of Ricky?
No, is that the martial arts movie?
It's a martial arts movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen clips of it. I've never watched the whole movie, but I've seen lots of cool clips of and
It's
animated
it's
gifs of it. But
it's the best in the world of those kind of like bad, so bad it's great, like
yeah,
visual practical effects.
hmm
And the dub, the American voiceovers, like they didn't care. You could tell they didn't care. So they just threw it away. And it is the best and most hilarious thing ever. I highly recommend the
I
story of
need to
Ricky.
watch it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's so I sometimes go to I see midnight movies at a Coolidge Corner Theater. It's called Coolidge After Midnight, and they have a martial arts month every
Ooh.
year, but they've never showed that. It definitely would fit the
Oh,
midnight vibe.
oh, they're missing out.
Yeah, yeah. Usually in original 35 millimeter, and I've
Nice.
seen some weird stuff there, but
Nice. Yeah, when I moved to New York, after I graduated from college in Florida, there was a channel called Kung Fu HD, all Kung Fu 24/7 in HD. And
mm-hmm. Hence the
it was
name.
such
Yeah,
a beautiful thing. It was so, oh man.
yeah. So, did you you said you were thinking about going to theater and stuff, but did you have a background at all in film school at all when you're like, I'm
Well,
gonna,
yeah.
try to
So
do this?
I minored in film and psychology, right?
Okay.
And my major was visual art, right? So, yeah, I studied film academically, acting academically, um, and psychology
hmm
academically as well.
Do they all go together?
Course, of
hmm
course, everything informs everything, man. Um, Even all the work, the different types of jobs. I've been a video producer for Forbes. I've been an armed security guard on a military base. I joined the military. I was in the the Army National Guard. Went to basic training when I was like 31, running around with all these little 17-year-old Thundercats. Um, Worked at Apple corporate, right? Worked at Apple retail before that. So I've got this interesting blend of life experience, right? Which informs everything that I do as a human being and as an actor.
So, which did you start doing when you start helping out? I assume it's like not on camera; it's like off camera stuff.
So yeah, so when I went in for this as a stunt PA, right,
Yeah.
we put together a team of kind of like action extras. So we kind of sent out a big old call and brought them in and sort of auditioned them. And then we brought in kind of the primary stunt team, and we started going over pre-visualization ideas. So we were in this kung fu school in Alameda, and we set up different scenes with boxes and sort of like we had a storyboard, and we recreated the storyboard. Like, and this is common practice for pre-visualization in films. You sort of play the scene out, right, and try out ideas and submit them to the producers and directors. Right? It's pretty fun. So, I mean, they, I call myself a crash dummy because, like, I was taking a lot of hits, even though my character didn't really. Spoiler alert! I was thrown all over the place in previs. Right?
Uh-huh.
They tied me to a rope, threw it up against or around a
Yeah.
bunch of
This
pulleys
is
on
just
the
for
ceiling.
fun. But no, this
Exactly.
is for
It
the
just
movie. Yeah.
yanked me all over the place, yanked me into boxes, just yanked me in and fall on the ground. They, built they kind of built a makeshift stage or whatever out of stunt pads and stuff. So I got thrown off of that too. Went outside, yanked me all over the place. So that was a crash dummy.
So, you said you went to like a stunt school, like
Oh,
where
it
do you
just
even find something like that? Did you like
well,
reach out like I gotta need to find this? Like, did you look online or?
Well, I first started with a friend of mine that I met when I was in Silicon Valley. He'd worked in LA in stunts for years, and he just started training. And there's a group of us that trained with him. So you learn how to take like the basic falls. You learn how to sell punches and how to deliver punches for the camera. You learn about your distance and kind of like the line of the camera, breaking the line so that it appears that you've hit somebody in the
Right.
face, right, without actually contacting them.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that sort of translated. Took those skills and continued training in LA, and started getting jobs. Actually, my first day in LA, I did stunts for a Zach Fox music video called "Square Up," and I kind of started music videos, and then I got into TV on Snowfall doing stunts. Did Bel Air. It was Carlton's stunt double in last year, and one of the season 3 racing episodes where yet again I was a crash dummy. I literally took a crash for him.
Oh,
But
like in the car?
yeah, in the car. Yeah,
Oh,
we
wow.
crashed. We weren't supposed to, but uh, yeah, yeah, and
Had you done
the whole
that before? Like the car scene before?
no.
It's I've had a lot of stunt people on the show, usually from like the more Wild West days, like
Uh-huh.
before like they really took precautions. But that was the running theme on like basically it's like you would just tell people, yeah, I've done that before, or just agree to whatever someone asks.
That happens quite a bit, right?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I have gone through a lot of training. The wire stuff, like you put me on a wire, I'm good. I've plenty of wire stuff. Falling pretty good, although as we get older, we want to interact with the concrete less and less,
Yes, yeah.
right?
Uh,
Uh, um, but I mean, the whole time, it wasn't just stunts that I was training in. I was training my voice, and I was training as an actor, right?
mhm.
So there's this just sort of huge re-education period that I went through. Um, and so I started booking voiceover roles, narration, video games, television dubs, um, and yeah. And now I with Freaky Tales, this is my theatrical debut. I got a nice supporting lead role, and they let me talk while I'm on the camera, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations. And
Thank
you
you.
know, a lot of people, as I mentioned, not everyone, not all the stunt people talk to, but people like Kane Hodder, for example, like the idea is like you can get your foot in the door as a stunt guy, um, but you can only obviously like that takes a toll on your body, so you're not going to be able to do that forever.
Right.
Uh, but if you can also become an actor, not only you get your foot in the door, and then that could lead to other things.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, another sort of career path, right? If you're trying to preserve your body, stunts is you can go into second unit directing,
Hmm.
right? And eventually directing if you wanted to direct films as well, or you could go the route of stunt coordinator with the knowledge that you've built. Like you can, if you've done it a while, you know a few current stunt coordinators, maybe they'll let you practice a day, right? Like you take the helm, right, for this episode or whatever, or this day. And you kind of build your uh, skills up in that direction, right? You've got, I mean, there's so many, so many different departments and pathways, in this industry. Uh, Although it is constricting quite a bit, which is oof,
Yeah, with AI and
a lot of things, man, a lot of things. And I mean, I'm doing what I can to contribute to the reinvigoration of the industry and bringing more filmmaking to LA. A lot of a lot of films have stopped producing in
yeah,
LA.
like Atlanta and
Yeah,
Toronto. Yeah.
there's these other locations, the other places that have put a lot of effort, a lot of resources into becoming attractive filmmaking locations, and LA hasn't. Right? They're just expensive to film in.
Mhm.
Right? And so, yeah, I've been doing a lot of advocacy, right, for stepping up, for being like, okay, we got to reclaim the title, right? We have to pull these productions in, right? Because it's really LA's number one industry, right?
Mhm.
Um, and if that goes, we're going to be in a world of hurt. So, I mean, this is something that we need to do like now, right? And so, yeah, I've been on it.
Do you think that's just people were like kind of resting on their laurels? They just
Yes,
assume that this is LA, so people always
yes.
make movies here.
I mean, traditionally, like LA, you could you could film so many different environments, so many different locations in LA. You've got kind of like the stars, the talent that lives here, and I think it's just kind of like a just like a given, right? And just the decision makers weren't aware of what was happening and the urgency. They're like, oh yeah, they did this, but they're not going to be able to sustain this or that or whatever, right? But um, I mean, that's what I believe it comes or came down to, you know.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's an important industry, and it actually brings a ton of money to the state. There's so many jobs, right, that you see in the end credits of a film, and that's not even the whole thing. There's a whole kind of secondary economy around that, right, that you don't see in the credits, and it's even a larger amount of people. But yeah, it's huge. It's just crucial for the economy here.
Yeah, I
So
mean, most of my friends who make independent movies, like they make their own movies, but they're like full time real job or working on other movies as other like you're saying they're employed doing editing or whatever crew
whatever,
people,
it could
and
be,
then
almost anything, to be honest.
yeah, and then and then they save up their own money to make their own movie on the
Hmm.
side. Yeah.
Hmm.
Is that something you would like to do at all? Maybe not save up money to put your own money into it, but would you like to direct a movie?
Well, perhaps eventually. Perhaps eventually. I'm not really gunning for that right now,
Yeah.
but I'm open to it. You know, I do think I will get into making my own content pretty soon, because I think it's just better to do things yourself
Mhm.
instead of waiting around for somebody to select you. Right?
Honestly, that comes up frequently in interviews, mostly with female people, female like directors or writers. Who on like they couldn't get roles that they wanted to play, so they wrote roles that they could play, that roles that
Exactly.
they wanted to play.
And it's never been easier to create content of high quality, right?
Mhm.
And if it catches on, then groovy, you know.
Yeah, and there's
Catches on.
even people say like that people go to the movie so much, but there's so many platforms now streaming
There
for
are,
and they all need content.
absolutely. I prefer movies. I prefer watching movies, especially something like Freaky Tales, which is a literally a crowd pleaser.
Yeah,
It's a
that
film that
makes
gives
sense.
you permission to hoop and holler and cheer, right, along with all these other people, and it's that communal experience. Like, you're watching there's this joke that cracks, and there's somebody in the back left that is just dying over it, and it's just like,
Yeah, that's horror movies and comedies to me are the best movies to watch with an audience because you can interact with everybody and it does have that
absolutely,
community feel.
absolutely, absolutely. I love watching. again, like horrors and like, so like you take something like The Quiet Place, right?
Yeah, I remember everyone really felt tense. You were all like, don't get your popcorn, don't make a
Exactly.
sound. Yeah.
So I was watching it the first time, and it was all deathly silent except for this one little child who's just got this plastic, like,
Yeah.
candy snack or whatever, just blah blah blah, and
Uh-huh.
everybody's like looking at him, just like,
You
you would
almost
be,
feel like the movie, like,
you would
oh
be
no,
dead.
this like one's gonna get eaten. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get us all eaten here. It's gonna be quiet.
Mm.
But no, there's no better way to watch movie. Renegade Film Festival, I do want to mention because they were actually sending out, this is how I first heard of Freaky Tales, was they were because they were really excited about it. And they were sending out emails trying to get like groups of people to get together and go see
Awesome,
the movie.
awesome, and that's the way to do it. Um, I'm glad they were able to. I'm glad they actually heard about it.
Hmm. Yeah, that was, I didn't want to mention, but they mentioned that in the email. They were like, it's got this big cast. There's like all this, like all these elements, the story,
Yeah,
all this stuff,
you would
and
have.
but it didn't
You
really
would have.
have like the promotion up there.
No, it doesn't, does it?
No,
That's crazy. I wonder what's going on with that.
yeah, that's
There's
no.
probably some sort of crazy story. But anyways,
Do you know anything about that
yeah.
that you can talk about?
Right, right. It's yeah. So that's a thing.
Okay, I'll have to look this up after the show. I guess I don't know, but
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
so but yeah, for people who don't know, Tom Hanks, Pedro Pascal,
Oh,
it's got a
oh,
huge.
oh, oh. I try not to say Tom Hanks.
Oh, okay.
He really comes in it's a nice little surprise because
Oh,
people,
nice. Sorry. Well, unfortunately, it's out there that he's in it, but that is a problem sometimes with. I guess it's like we don't want to not say but it can ruin.
I know.
Even watching trailers, for me, I try not because I go to the movies almost every week, so I'm going to watch most stuff. So I try not to watch too many trailers because it can spoil.
Well, that's fine because the Freaky Tales trailer wasn't playing in front of movies anyway. So,
Yeah, I noticed that. It was
mhm.
because it was one I'd not heard of,
Yeah.
and like I said, it's right up. Seemed right up my alley. But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. um. But yeah, it's got a lot of surprise and delight. This film, and so the trailer I think is really good
mhm,
for not spoiling anything, for giving a this movie is a total vibe piece, right? So you really don't have to say much about the narrative story because it's not necessarily a narrative focus. It's expressionalist and what it's trying to convey, the feeling, the energy that it's trying to convey, right? So if you're trying to look at it as a character piece, it's not a character piece. If you're trying to look at it as a narrative, eh, that's not what it's trying to do, right? It's
mhm.
trying to share with you how special the energy was at that place in that time, Oakland, 1987.
Yeah. Did you go to the premiere at Sundance?
Yeah, I was there at Sundance, and that was magical. That was the first time I went to. I always wanted to go to Sundance, first
Yeah,
time,
I've never been to Sundance.
and I had no idea that going there I would be opening up the festival with a film of mine that I was in. That was the
That's
craziest thing
amazing. Yeah.
ever, dude. So cool, such a cool experience. Like most of the cast was there, so it was the first time we saw each other all together since
Yeah.
the film, and they allowed us to kind of hang together before the filming started. The Gilman punks and we bonded, and everybody's like super cool. Even the non-Gilman punks, right? The other actors, super cool. We had such a lovely cast and crew. Like I got paid to work with a bunch of cool people, study them at work. But yeah, it was an awesome reunion at Sundance and a huge celebration. The crowd loved it, and it was, like I said, it was magical.
Yeah. Now, had you seen the finished movie before the premiere?
Not the finished movie. Not the finished movie. I caught an early draft of it,
Mhm.
pre color grading, pre mastering of the sound, pre-visual effects being completed and all that, and I could tell it was going to be special. Seeing it at Sundance, especially with that sound, like, I mean, this is my first time being on the big screen, right? And I was thinking, man, it's going to be weird to see myself in the third person, which it was. But even crazier was hearing myself with the surround speakers, the high quality, like whatever they did with the sound mix. It was different from the original draft that I saw. It was mastered, and wow, that really took me aback. I was like, yeah, it sounded good. It sounded really good.
Yeah.
The editors, the sound guys, they did a fantastic job with this piece.
Mm-hmm. So, what would you tell people out there? Because you said like it didn't get a lot of publicity when it's coming out. Like, what should they do? Should they like tell their theater we want to see this, or?
Well, we don't have the best show times, and we don't have the most theater availability at all. If you want to see this in the theaters, right, now is, at least for the time being, probably going to be the best only chance that you have. And a lot of the showings are late night showings on weeknights, right? Which, if you're
Yeah,
working,
I'll be honest. It's not playing at in Boston's a big place. I didn't see it
yeah,
playing
it is, isn't
anywhere.
it? It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. But yeah, there's, like, if you look on Reddit, you listen to people's reviews, you'll hear people talking about, I had to drive an hour to get to this rickety theater to watch this movie that I have been highly anticipating, right?
Yeah.
And I still loved it, right? It's worth it. But it'd be nice if you didn't have to do all that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean that you make a movie, you want people to see it and see it in the best way possible, not just on the big screen, but the music. I think sometimes people overlook how much the music feels when you're in the theater because it's all
Oh yeah,
around you.
and the music, right? The soundtrack for this film, so much fun. You don't even realize.
You can't unless you're like an ass and you pull out your phone. You can't escape. You're in there. It's all around you. You're not gonna start playing whatever game people play today. I was gonna say like Angry Birds, but
Whatever
I
it is.
don't know what people
It
play
used
on
to
their
be
phone
Candy
today.
Crush was a
Candy
go-to.
Crush,
I don't
right?
know.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm
I don't
sure
know.
it's something completely different now.
Yeah,
Yeah, or going on TikTok or something, and maybe
there
that's
you go.
more
TikTok.
what people
That's
do.
what I
Yeah.
went on TikTok. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say catch it now if you can.
Mhm.
Bring your friends, right? Try to create the environment, because especially if you're into horror, if you're into the '80s, bring your people, right, and just have a fun time. I've gone to a number of screenings, right, and the more people, the better, right. And again, give yourself permission to react to the film. You
When
will.
I said like my friends from Renegade were putting it out there for people to get together, and I think why it must resonate with people because that's a horror film festival, but anything I think non-traditional, uh, unique or original, whatever that appeals to the same crowd.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is not a movie that would ever be made by studios today,
Hmm.
right? I mean, the fact that it is airing or playing in theaters, right, is almost an anomaly in itself, right?
Hmm.
Uh, and it's so refreshing and very cathartic, just to see a film that is made by people who actually love film and are passionate about it, and they're not just trying to create a product that hits the lowest common denominator of people, right? This mechanized thing that is really limited on its artistic expression, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, it's like I said, it's a much needed kind of relief of a film.
Unfortunately, I've not seen it, but I've been looking forward to see it.
Yeah.
I can't, and I try to see most things in the theater, so
Mm.
I am looking forward to. I'm going to seek it out. See, I'm going to Boston this weekend, so I'm going to see Maybe it's it's not playing at the AMC, but maybe it's playing at one of these other.
Yeah, I think if you Google like Freaky
Yeah.
Tales and then whatever location and then show times, it'll
Mhm.
give you a list of all the other theaters that it might be playing in, local theaters, smaller theater chains.
Yeah, which I go to a lot too. So
Hmm.
support your theaters out there, because the two smaller ones that I go to, like Coolidge and Brattle in Boston, both of them almost closed during COVID,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
Coolidge was there for 100 years. It's an old 1920s theater,
yeah.
and
We lost some incredible theaters, some historical incredible theaters, and it's extremely sad. But I hate I hate having to say support your theaters because you're really supporting your own experience when you
yeah,
go to
yeah,
movie theaters, right?
yeah, because once those old ones are gone, they don't come back.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, once it's out of circulation, it's rare, right?
Mhm.
When
Yeah, very rare that something would get like we're gonna maybe if
re-release.
it was up for Oscar or something like that, but it's very, very rare.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still hoping that Freaky Tales will kind of
Yeah.
someday get a little loving.
So you said you were never at Sundance before, but do you have much experience with festivals?
A little bit of little bit. I've gone to an occasional festival here and there, uh, but not as an actor. Well,
Mhm.
a little bit, but yeah, just minor stuff, nothing anywhere near the size of Sundance.
No, no. Sundance is one of yeah, it's like premiere stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah. I've had some stuff at festivals, but never Sundance.
Now, is this stuff that you've directed and
I produced and I'm in co-wrote. Yeah, my first I don't make about myself, but my first feature film we filmed in 2019. It had the world premiere in London at the Prince Charles Theater at Fright
not
Fest, and then we had the U.S. premiere at Screamfest
awesome?
in LA at the Chinese Theater, which was a really wild experience. And
Gotcha.
it was we didn't let the cast actually watch the movie until the premiere, so it was kind of smaller than the people involved in your movie, but still it was the first time everyone got to see it uh, in the theater. First time they saw the finished movie, and it was a very special experience.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. It's a nice little, again, more surprise and delight.
Yes, yeah,
And everybody got to watch it together.
yeah, yeah. It was it's something, honestly, not to sound cheesy or something, but I mean it's something I'll remember forever. It was a real
No,
highlight.
that's not cheesy at all.
Hmm.
Right? That's just real.
And it was very strange seeing myself on the big screen, as you said.
Yeah.
And
It took me honestly for me it took me a few showings to kind of get used to it. Um, yeah, yeah. It's a crazy thing.
yeah, and once I got a laugh, and it's supposed to get a laugh, so I was happy. It's like, oh, okay,
Good,
I didn't
good.
just waste years of my
It
life
landed.
making this. Yeah, it worked.
Same,
Yeah,
same.
and I want to ask about voice acting. How is that something? How did you get into that? Because from understand, that's actually a really hard world to get into.
It is. It is. But there again, as times change and the kind of audience
Yeah, it
attention.
used to be like this, but when it's cartoons, it was mostly like the same few people who played all the same
Exactly. Exactly. Now there's so much content, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, right, things have opened up globally, right? So you can submit remotely, right? So there's that whole thing, right? So if you can build yourself a nice enough portfolio demo reel, and maybe get some little bit of work under your belt, whether it's self-produced or whatever. You could have online content. You can build up a following, podcasts, whatever, um, and get an agent, right? Then you have access to more auditions, right? And that kind of increases your odds of being able to land something or being able to impress a casting director and maybe have them circle back to you for another thing, right? Ask you to audition later. That's sort of the path that you want to take, right? I spoke to the reps that I currently have before they represented me, and they kind of gave me some tips on what I should do, what I should study, how I should build my portfolio, and I just listened to what they said, right? And I came back to them a year later with everything that they asked for, and we were good to go. Right? And 2 weeks later, I got my first voiceover job, which was doing some voice matching. Did some voice matching for Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Oh,
Anybody?
nice. Yeah. Uh, yeah. I'm actually a big wrestling fan too. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I watched wrestling, and since the golden era.
Hmm.
Macho Man,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Junkyard Dog, Andre the Giant.
Yeah. My favorite here is Roddy Piper. I have the
Oh,
VHS tape over
awesome!
here.
Awesome.
A fan from Canada sent that.
I was just watching Roddy versus Bret Hart the other day.
Oh yeah, that's one of Piper's best matches when Hitman wins the IC title.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very cool. Roddy's doing his thing. He's towards the end of the match. He's got the bell, and he's over Bret, and he's like, his conscience gets the better of him. He's just put the bell down, and then Bret manages to tie him up. Pa, 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 pa.
Yeah,
Boom.
it's a great finish. It's a sleeper hold, and Bret rolls over the turnbuckle into the pin. I
Hmm.
think it's the only time Piper ever was pinned in the WWF. His only clean loss in WWF
Well, if
history.
it's gonna come to somebody, Bret's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
too, man.
yeah, the Hitman. Yeah,
Yes, the Hitman was my personal favorite growing up.
I'm a huge Hitman fan. Yeah, I've interviewed the Hitman, Chief
Oh,
like
that's
here,
that's
but
awesome.
yeah, I'm a big
That is awesome.
yeah, one of my favorites too. So that's cool. I'm glad that you're a wrestling fan. But I do have to ask, since it's without your head, what are your favorite horror movies?
Oh, okay. We're getting into the good stuff. All right. Not that my film isn't good stuff, but
No, I
you know
understand.
what else is good stuff?
Yeah, yeah. In addition, yeah.
In addition,
Additionally, good stuff.
so I love The Descent, right?
Oh, The Descent. We did
Yeah.
best of like the naughty whatever like the last 20 years, and
Uh-huh.
that was on my list because I
Mm.
think that's one of the best horror movies of of the 2000s.
It's a nice two piece, because you have the situational horror of just spelunking in general,
Hmm.
like just unplanned, just new place hasn't been charted before, right? And then you throw in these little, well, I don't want to say anything for people that haven't seen it yet,
Yeah.
but you should see it if you haven't.
Yeah. The
Uh,
really weird, I mentioned the Coolidge before, and the guy runs that Mark Anastasio, and he plays the Descent during Vampire Month, which I never understand. And his theory is that it's a vampire movie if you take out all the supernatural elements of a vampire, which I think is an interesting take. I'm not sure I agree with it, but I still think it's an interesting take.
I mean, that's an interesting interpretation. Yes.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, since the
I don't
descent,
necessarily agree, but I like that he's thinking outside the box.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say I would let it slide because I just want people to see the descent.
Exactly. It's just an excuse to watch it in
Yeah.
35 millimeter on the screen. So The
But
Descent,
then
yeah, that's a great choice.
you've got you've got freaking aliens, right? Even though Aliens is more action,
Yeah, I would
uh,
say Alien.
I could still put it, and then my preference over those two is going to be Aliens, even though I love the first one and I think it is magnificent. Um, there's so much charm, and Aliens is like the most quotable like movie ever. Just every line of dialogue is gold.
Yeah, and you really like all the characters. They're all
Yeah,
likable. So when things start
yeah,
to
you really
happen,
like the
you feel
characters,
bad. Yeah,
really.
Lance
Um,
Henriksen and stuff.
Predator
Predator's great. Yeah.
was, oh man, good stuff, good stuff. Like I said, Evil Dead, right? Evil Dead 2,
Mhm.
and Army of Darkness. I like it's fun to me when you have characters that start off one place, right? They're not really built for this or whatever, and they get driven to a point where they snap and they become like the survival badass, right?
Mhm.
Like in You see that in Descent. You see that in Evil Dead 2 with Ash, the birth of
Mhm.
Ash. There's
That's
something.
one of the few franchises where it's known for the hero as opposed to known for the villain.
Good
Is
point. Good point.
Mhm.
Uh, that's a very good point. And that works for me. I would have loved to have seen, Ash versus Freddy versus Jason come together.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'll take any Ash I get. I was honestly, I like Ash versus the Evil Dead, the television
I
series.
thought it was really great. Yeah,
It was great.
yeah.
It was absolutely great.
I wish it had
Especially
continued.
right, especially where they left off. Man, I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
ah. But I didn't expect that, right? And
No.
that's for me. That's icing on the cake. We got 3 seasons of it, and it was just a joyride. It
Mhm.
was a treasure. So I'm glad that we were able to get that.
Yeah, those are great choices. Yeah, a few years ago, it was really cool. They showed the Evil Dead trilogy out in the woods by a cabin, and so we went out, and it was a really fun experience.
Oh man,
Yeah.
uh, I've got my opinions about that. So my cast members actually, um, Jack Champion, right, was one of the punks.
Hmm.
Uh, he was in the Scream franchise, last Scream movie.
Oh, cool.
He was one. Well, never mind. I'm not going to spoil things, but he was in it. Keir Gilchrist. Uh, he was in It Follows, which is also
Oh
great.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
another big movie, a modern horror movie,
right, right.
modern-ish, I guess. Yeah,
Uh,
modern to me,
Martin,
I guess. Anything the last 10 years.
it's modern.
Hmm. Yeah.
Martine was in Halloween, like Halloween Kills, I believe. Uh,
Okay, new ones.
Ji Young, she's got a. I feel bad because I forgot the title of the movie that's like about to come out. But she's got a horror movie now, and so I'm like, am I gonna? I thought about it. Am I gonna be in a horror movie? If I am, like, what would that look like? Um, I feel like just my natural inclination, I'd be avoiding getting myself into situations.
Uh-huh.
It's like you mentioned the screening of Evil Dead in a cabin in the woods, and I'm like, that sounds great and terrifying, and I'm not sure I'd be down for it, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've got a thing for making good choices.
That's a bad
Like,
choice.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that's compatible with the horror movies, but that's why I like films like, say, something like Alien, and even by extension Aliens. You have somebody who is sitting there making good choices, right?
Mhm.
And people are just writing them off, and they do it in a way that's realistic, right? She's a woman, she's second in command. It's like, whatever, Ripley, just knock it off, right?
Uh-huh.
And so it's got this or this organic. It's not forced, right? A lot of things in horror movies, a lot of the bad decisions are forced, right? This was organic, not only because of her kind of like social station, but you also have somebody there undercover who is pushing for things, right? Ash to go a certain way, right, and protecting it, right. So it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful organic horror piece where you see things lead to a certain situation, and you see people trying to stop it, right, and they get circumvented by the company.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, and that's definitely horror. I know people argue Predator and Alien about it. Is it sci-fi horror? Action? I always think doesn't matter. If you like it, you like it.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, I
really
mean,
know,
it,
but
it's
they've got to be horror. I mean, Alien is clearly horror. I mean,
just,
it's
yeah,
really a
just
horror
look at
movie.
the thing, right? I don't
Yeah,
think there's any question about it. That's nightmare fuel right there,
yeah,
right?
and
And
Predator too. It's a big monster
Predator.
picking people off one by one.
Exactly. Predator follows the tradition of like the monster
Hmm.
in horrific fashion, because there's nothing not horrible about how, what it was doing to the people, to the soldiers. And yeah, it's that's totally horror. It's action horror, right?
Yeah,
But like it's still horror.
yeah, and you got Jesse Ventura. Ain't got time to bleed. It's a
Yeah.
classic line.
You got time to duck?
So,
Oh no.
Freaky Tales. We want people to seek this out.
Yes, seek it out. Seek it out. Catch it in theaters. If it is somewhere within 100 miles, Yeah. And bring your friends. Bring your friends. It is a special experience while it lasts. And it'll be out on whatever digital formats
Yeah.
within the next few weeks.
Yeah, but catch it in the theater while you
Yes.
can.
Yes.
And
And
tell people, go and rate it on IMDb and all that stuff, and share it out on your socials. Tell
absolutely
people to check it out.
share it, especially if you've seen it. You had a great time. Let people know.
And where can people follow you
You
if
can
you
catch.
want them to?
Yeah, totally. Please follow me. Welcome. The more, the merrier.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, Windstriker007, or you can simply search my name, LeQuan Antonio Bennett. You'll see my big old face, or Blue Sky, where it's just Windstriker.
What's the story behind Windstriker?
So Windstriker is a name that I came up with when I was making a character for the Matrix Online back in the early 2000s, right? And the idea was the biggest enemies, I think, of humanity are not physical; they are intangible. Right? There's things greed and tribalism. So, like I wanted to focus on getting rid of those, striking those down, and the wind represents that intangibility, right? So, Wind Striker is where it came from.
I like it, and I like the background to it. All right. Oh yeah, I didn't notice those people. Ashford's Evil Dead was awesome. Yeah, I like it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Look at this. Nasty Neil and Lusty LeQuan.
Steve, look,
Huh? I think that works. All right. Well, this has been really cool to talk with you.
yeah, you too, Neil. Yeah, for sure. If you're on Instagram, then I'll
I
definitely
will
show.
follow you. Yeah, I'm without your head on Instagram.
That
It's
makes
with the
complete
nasty.
sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right. Congratulations on the longevity of your podcast. It is
Thank
an
you.
honor to have been able to join you.
Yeah, it'll be cool to have you back sometime. Maybe when you get that horror movie.
Right, right. We'll see how that goes.
All right. All right. And congratulations on the movie and continued success. It's good to talk to you.
You
And you
too.
got a great voice, so I can see why you got into the voice acting.
Thank you, Nasty
Yeah.
Neil.
Thank you. Well, you're welcome. And stay safe in
Will
any of
do.
those stunt stuff. Oh, one last question.
What's that?
Uh, since I saw the Bel Air and your Carlton stunt double, have you ever done the dance?
Oh yeah, you wanna
Hell yeah, I love it.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Uh, awesome. All right, thanks, man. Take
All right.
care. I'll
Take it
see you.
easy.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, LeQuan, he was great. And go and check out Freaky Tales. I am gonna check it out. I'm gonna look right now live on the show because I did see that it was not playing the AMC, but maybe it's playing somewhere. I have a lot of theaters in the Boston area. People say Boston for every city in Massachusetts, basically. It's like, oh yeah, it's Boston. I remember when Rock and Shock, they'd be like, it's in the Boston area. It's in Worcester. It's an hour and a half from Boston. Never mind. I'm not going to go into that. But let's see. Freaky Tales. Playing. I know it's exciting to watch me type on my phone, but let's see. Playing Boston. All right. Freaky Tales. Showtimes. Says it's playing AMC, but I didn't see it on the AMC. Oh, here we go. Fandango. That was the site I was trying to think of, but I couldn't remember. Freaky Tales. Let's see here. Not available. You're lying to me, Fandango. Freaky Tales. Come on. All right, let me look in the area. Theaters. Movies. Movies and theaters. I'm trying to find it here, people. I probably should look on the computer instead of my phone, maybe. But Freaky Tales. Here we go. Why is it not show? I'm gonna change the zip code here. Show him. I'm actually on Cape Cod. Not to dox myself, but we're gonna look up a different. Let's see here. This is not working out. Let me do it on the computer. This is a total disaster. But I will find it. All right. Let's see. Fandango. I think that's playing the trailer here in the background. We don't want to get flagged here on YouTube. All right. Showtime's near Boston. Freaky Tales. I'm just talking to my computer. All right. Freaky Tales in Boston. Ah! Here we go. Buy tickets. It's not available. I don't believe this. It's not playing anywhere in Boston? It's got to be playing somewhere. Da, 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 da. Boston, California. Now, why would that come up first before Boston, Massachusetts? I've never even heard of Boston, California. All right, let's see. Saturday. Let's see. We got a lot of new stuff coming out. Boston does show a lot of weird stuff, which is good. I'm scrolling through here. Do not see it. This is not good. Alamo Draft House. Are you going to come through for me? No. Landmark in Kendall Square. That's another cool theater. No. AMC is definitely out. No AMCs. I feel really bad I even brought this up now because I'm not playing anywhere. Damn. Yeah, but my friends in Atlanta was just saying Renegade Film Festival. They were putting together groups of people to go see it and spread the word, which was really cool. That was the first time I'd heard about it. It was a couple weeks ago before it was released. And I couldn't go last week. I think I was actually playing last week, but I couldn't make it up to Boston. All right. Well, this was a total failure here in me trying to find Freaky Tales playing in Boston. Because now I'm like way another play. I'm out. So it's not playing in Boston, unfortunately. I don't know. But try to find it wherever you are. Not everyone listening to this in Boston. I could look in Rhode Island. That's not that far away. I will make it to my mission to find the movie. But I do want to mention that my friend Joshua Pangborn, who was so we do Severed Limbs Film Festival here on the show. It's our short film festival. He's made a lot of cool shorts that played Severed Limbs. His feature film, Brooklyn Butcher, is playing Saturday at the Wicked Queer, which is the proper way to pronounce that, film festival, Saturday in Boston at the Brattle Theater in Cambridge, which is in Harvard Square. If you've never been in the area, it's a really cool old theater. And so I'm heading up there, Boston, to see that. And he's coming from New York, so I'll meet him and the cast. I've never been to that film festival, so that'll be fun. Use promo code NOHEAD on the B stream, and you can get a discount on their movies. I'm going to show a trailer here for one of the films on the B stream. Or maybe I won't. I don't have him here, but I am going to show the trailer for The Brooklyn Butcher, which is playing.
Well, bless my soul, it's a lawman.
Sorry to bother you. I'm afraid there's been a murder in the building.
As police scramble to identify the latest victim in a string of serial murders, there remain no leads to the identity of the killer dubbed the Brooklyn Butcher.
Killer on the loose, how ridiculous.
My friends warned me not to go out tonight. They say I might be meeting with the Brooklyn Butcher and not even knowing it.
They are out there and they could be anybody. Do you think I'm the Brooklyn Butcher?
Goodness, was that perfect timing or what?
I'll say. Come on in, come in. We've been expecting you. You don't know what's gonna happen. What if you may wind up being dead?
None of us saw it coming.
That's what I said.
Hope you won't have to use the handcuffs.
Or maybe I do.
Let the games begin then.
What causes the Brooklyn Butcher to kill? Well, that's difficult to say. Every murderer has a different motive. There's revenge, rage, lust, power. But what it really all comes down to is fear. We kill because we are afraid. And most of the time, that fear causes us to do something we will always regret for the rest of our lives.
You opened my eyes to a whole new world.
All right. So Brooklyn Butcher playing this Saturday at Wicked Queer Film Festival in Harvard Square. That'll be really cool. So we're going to look at a couple trailers here before I get out. New releases from the B Stream. Go to thebstream.com. Use promo code NOHEAD. That's NOHEAD for Without Your Head, No Head. And you will get a discount. So here is a new trailer for one of the new releases. Final Days from the End Times from 2025. Final Days, Tales from the End Times is a horror anthology from 5 of horror's most visionary new directors. Each director gives their take on the end of the world as depicted through their unique lens. Directors include Ash Hamilton, Ben Harl, Josh Brucker, Michael Gregory, and Dylan Brown. Cast includes Robert Lasardo, former guest here on the show, Kayla Kelly, Rodney Snyder, Chloe Franks, Jenna Hackathorn, Tom Gebert. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, here we go.
It was just hours ago when we received a very frantic phone call from ATF agent Melody Arnold from somewhere deep within these compound walls, a compound known to the locals as the LaRoche Center, a name I'm sure many of you are very familiar with. Cult-like activities have long darkened the halls of the
Wow. All right. That was quick and to the point. I thought we were just getting in the trailer and it ended. I like that. All right. So that is one of the new releases on the B stream. What else do we have here for new releases? New releases on the B stream. Cadaver Christmas. All right, let's check this out. As people know, I'm a big fan of Christmas horror films. I know it's not Christmas time, but what the hell? From 2011, I'll see. It's an older one, but I've not seen it. When a dark force takes over the morgue, a ragtag band of heroes has to save humanity from the growing army of Walking Dead. Cast includes Daniel Raridan Hale, Hanlon Smith Dorsey, and Yash Hayashi. From director Joe Zerl. Says trailer, but I'm not getting a trailer to work here. So, that sounds good. We got a late checkout. Late checkout. Let's check this one out. Let's see. I think I have it written down here. Late checkout from 2023 follows a group of friends that rent a cabin in their old hometown. But there's a string of brutal killings, and they are the killer's next target. Cast includes Felissa Rose, Anna Clary, and Thomas Rickman by director Josh Graves. All right, let's check this out. Late checkout. I always like to get a late checkout. Then you can shoot till noon or so. It's probably not this kind of late checkout. This is like a late as in you're dead.
We're so close. Can you just hold it? No, Jazz, we need to go. Like, I feel so sick right now. No, please pull over. Please. I feel really cold.
This is why we don't day drink.
Can we hurry it up, please? These roads are making me sick.
I think this is it.
It's beautiful.
Are you guys just gonna sit here and stare at it?
I like the music.
We don't get everyone together all the time. Let's come on.
This looks well
Get some
made.
pizza, have some drinks, just chill out, all right?
It looks familiar.
So this place is, like, definitely haunted, right? I'd be more afraid of, like, a mountain man hiding underneath the bed or something.
Have you guys ever wanted to kill someone?
Wow. All right, I'm into that. That looks cool. From the Bree stream coming April 8th, so that came out just 3 days ago. Use promo code NOHEAD. I'm going to check out one more here, and that is a low-budget nightmare. A horror movie, and the name of it is a horror movie. It's called Horror Movie, a low-budget nightmare. I feel like I'm just saying that we're about to watch a low-budget movie, but no, this is the name of the movie. Low-budget nightmare. Underdog actor-director Craig Anderson puts his life savings on the line to make his first super low-budget horror film, Red Christmas. I actually saw Red Christmas. I wonder if it's the same movie or if it's something different. This is that's a real movie. I actually interviewed him about this movie. He's a former guest on the show. About an aborted fetus that seeks revenge on its family. With budget issues, union troubles, Hollywood scream queen, and even a circumcision to overcome, we follow Craig's emotional and sometimes scary roller coaster journey from pre-production to the very end. Cast includes Gary Doust, Megan McCurchie, directed by Gary Doust. Interesting. Yeah. Wow. So this guy's been on the show. Red Christmas is a really good Christmas horror film. Very
Cut. The only thing I ever wanted to do was make a movie, so I'm gonna make a horror movie.
Yes, you've got a placenta in your freezer? I'm so ready to touch your placenta.
I'm not rich. I sleep on the floor of a warehouse.
This is the moment. I'm on my way. Hey, man.
That's my red belt in karate.
Hoya! Okay, that was very close. And squirt, squirt.
The whole part up to that point in your movie is great.
You're not doing it like Kill Bill, are you?
How do you want people to die?
Well,
Don't see it.
gently.
Kill them gently.
All right, you okay, Dad?
So it's been a bad day.
It was like a roller coaster ride on Disneyland.
I love the look
actual
at this. This
possibility of
is
death.
a documentary
Shooting?
definitely for me.
I can't comprehend what will happen
That's funny. I had him on the show and didn't realize that any problem with the movie.
Is my nose bleeding?
Problem
It bleeds when I stress.
The cash amount I need has gone up $60,000 in the last 2 days. If I don't have cash soon, I'm in a lot of trouble.
I've cast Hollywood actress Dee Wallace from E.T.
She's got to get on the plane in 2 days.
You're asking her to break her union's rules.
If she doesn't turn up, I don't know who will be in the film.
What the hell do I do now?
I'm about to lose the money I owe my brother. This is your life stream to make this movie. You're finally making it, and at the last hour, it could all crumble.
It could go bad. It's about an aborted fetus that returns and kills its family. Of course it's going to be terrible.
That movie is great. I'm a big fan of the actual movie Red Christmas. It's been on our list when we did favorite Christmas horror. I've had on my list. It was on my list of favorite movies that year. And it's funny. We had him on the show. We actually had Dee Wallace on several times, and she talked about Red Christmas. So, wow, I'm gonna check that out. Not just because we're promoting the B stream. That's something I actually want to watch. Let's see here. I had this is Wicked Queer, the film festival, Wicked Queer Film Festival. That's all this week from the 4th through the 13th. I'll be going to Sunday's the last day. It's all independent films made by LGBTQ community. So I'm going to be seeing Brooklyn Butcher this Saturday. It's not all horror stuff. It's all different genres. But I'm going to be seeing the horror film Brooklyn Butcher this Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Look at these little pale girl figures from Mezco Toys. Now, that's creepy as hell. I would definitely get one of those. So yeah, this was the film I was talking about earlier, just showing. Definitely would like to see that. We also Late Checkout. I like that too. Look, anyone who grew up in the 80s loves a masked slasher. This was cool. I saw some people from Pee-wee's Big Adventure are going to be at the Pennsylvania Horror Convention. We got Mark Holton, who I'm going to try to get on the show. He's also in Gacy and Leprechaun, Teen Wolf. So I think he'd be a good guest. And Diane Salinger from Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Pee-wee's Big Holiday, plus Rest Stop, that's a good movie. Batman Returns. Pennsylvania. What had just happened here? Pennsylvania. HorrorCon. All right. New Robert Eggers movie coming out. Eddington. They say this is a horror movie, but nothing I've read about it sounds horror-ish. That doesn't mean anything. Just because they say it, who knows? But sorry, not Robert Eggers. Ari Aster is Eddington. So something I want to check out. New Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3. I know a lot of people hated the first one. I was not a big fan. I can't say I hated it though. But I've heard the second one was a lot better. But I had not seen it because at the time I was going to go to the theater, but it was like $30, and I was just thinking about supporting the film and stuff. But check out Jeff Lieberman interview yesterday. It was 3.5 hours. Really fun interview. Enjoyed it quite a bit. help support the show. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get notification when we're live. We're not normally live on Fridays, normally live on Thursdays, but I think I'm going to start doing some more live streaming. I enjoy it, and a lot of people want on the show. Instead of recording and posting it, why not just do it live? Do it first, do it live. So, so make sure you hit that bell icon so you know when I happen to pop up live. If it would help to support the channel, it costs only $3 a month, and it would help us out. If anyone tonight joins the $5 or $10 tier, not only will you get a thank you from me personally, you will also get one of the, or you can super chat $5 or more. You will get one of these Beaster Bunny virtual trading cards of you personally. Here's some of our sponsors or some of our fans who helped the website. We have the great Melody K, Shannon Thompson from Buried Alive Film Festival, Dana Nofke, former guest here on the show, John Devlin, one of the Severed Limbs regulars, Blood Pact Films, Letitia Buchanan, former guest here on the show, Scott Bradley, also former guest on the show, cool guy, multiple time guest Adam Newman, Buried Alive Film Festival, which we're big fans of out of Atlanta, and multiple time guest Lisa Oviez. So yeah, if you would like one of those, you can super chat $5 or more, become a $5 or $10 or higher member here tonight, or you can Venmo throughout the week at Headyverse, and you can get one through Easter. After Easter, they will be retired. So you can help us out. And so I've been, for a special bonus for members, I've been restoring old episodes that were audio only. And back then, we recorded the show on Skype with usually the guest was on a phone, usually not the greatest internet. So it's great that they exist, but the audio is, pretty rough. And over the years, I've tried to restore them with limited success. But now, honestly, with AI, is not all bad. It's just mostly bad. But with the AI, I've fixed up some of the old audio. It can be a little time consuming because I also have to edit out any copywritten music. But for the first time in their entirety, so it's not just the interview, it is the full podcast. So I've uploaded the first 2 interviews with the rest of the podcast. So Sid Haig and the great Sid Haig was our first guest ever on the show, from Captain Spaulding, a true horror icon, modern horror icon. And we talked about his whole career. It was a great interview. I was a little nervous going in, and just a really nice guy. And Sid, put in good word for me at conventions over the years. And that's how I got involved doing panels for a long time. Can't say enough good things about Sid. And Adam Green. Adam Green, I was friends with on MySpace prior to the release of Hatchet. And so Adam came on to talk about Hatchet coming out before it actually came out. And now he's way too big to talk to us. No, he was just on recently. I'm just kidding. But I'm a big fan of Adam Green and Sid Haig. 2 great interviews. So check those out. Just become a member. It starts only $3 a month. Also, turn on your gifted memberships, because we do have people come in every once in a while and gift membership. So if you have that on, you may get yourself a free membership here to the website. You can also use the free the emojis, the little 8-bit emojis, I believe. All right. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you, LeQuan Bennett. Freaky Tales. Go seek it out. Find it. Do it. Renegade Film Festival. They're good people. And Buried Alive. Buried Alive Film Festival, also of Atlanta. We love them. And submissions are now open. So you can submit your horror feature. You can submit your horror shorts. Go do that and tell them Nasty Neil sent you. It will mean nothing, but tell them anyway. It'll mean something to me. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Unfortunately, I believe we have to end music of the month. I'm just getting too much. It's just too much problems with the music being copyright. Even if I have permission, you have to go through a lot with YouTube to explain it. And now Spotify is flagging old shows, even if I have permission to use the music. So it's just rough. So unfortunately, it was a cool part of the show, music of the month, but I think we have to end it. Unfortunately, but we had a lot of great music over the years, but we still have the Tomb of Nick Cage here playing our original theme that they made for us. Great people. All right. Until next time, this is Nasty Neil. Hit the like button, subscribe, share this out, become a member. Leave some comments, preferably positive. Don't make me cry. Next week, I'll be live Thursday with the cast of Bite School 2. Cast and crew of Bite School 2. My finger no longer will, I don't know what happened. I think I broke it and then it just stayed this way. The cast and crew of Bite School 2 and independent FX artist Billy Coin. It's going to be a really loaded show. That'll be fun Thursday. I believe Annabelle will be back. Me, Terrible Troy, and Annabelle. Coming soon, Arbor Day. We will be launching the campaign very soon. Here's a little tease for Arbor Day.
Hello, I am international actor Gora, the man and the legend. I am excited to be playing an ancient warrior spirit summoned to help destroy the demon trees in the upcoming American movie Arbor Day.
Now, if that doesn't have you excited for Arbor Day, I mean, nothing will. So you can help support Arbor Day when we launch a campaign and help fund the movie itself. I'm excited. All right, until next time, this is Nasty Neil. Thank you to LeQuan Bennett. And this is Without Your Head. That is not the correct credits. Where are the credits? They did not upload. I am very sorry, LeQuan. It should say special guest, LeQuan Bennett. I made them before the show, but I don't think I uploaded them. It'll be on the Spotify version. All right. I'm out of here. Bye.